be talking about the share responsibility model. This will be presented by me, Nur Erika Irisha, my friend Farah Munaiza, and our captain, Amirul Azim. The question for today is Task 6, the crowd jewels. Across all three service models, IaaS, PaaS, SaaS, there are two specific layers of responsibility that never shift to the cloud provider. What are they and why is it impossible for the provider to manage them for you? In cloud computing, the cloud provider is not responsible for deciding what data you store, how accurate it is, who should access to it, or whether it complies with regulation such as GDPR or HIPAA. This decision cannot be made by provider because they do not fully understand your organization data. Only you, as the customer, understand the sensitivity of your data, the legal requirement you must follow, your business rule, and how long the data should be kept. Even when using SaaS, where the provider store the data for you, you are still responsible for protecting, classifying, and governing your data properly.
For example, if a company stores customer credit data in Amazon Web Service (AWS), AWS secure the infrastructure. But if the company accidentally made an S3 bucket public, exposing customer data, that is the customer responsibility, not AWS.
Now, let's talk about Identity and Access Management, or IAM. Why does IAM never shift to the cloud provider? Because cloud provider cannot decide who in your organization should have access. They cannot define job roles for your company. They cannot enforce least privilege policies that are specific to your business, and they cannot prevent your internet employees from misusing access. Only your organization knows who should access what. Only your organization knows when access should be removed, and only your organization understands how roles align with business functions. Even in SaaS, while the provider manages the application, you control user accounts and permissions.
Example 2, if an employee at a company using Microsoft Azure is given global admin rights and later delete production resources, Azure did not assign those permissions. The organization did. Therefore, it is the organization's responsibility. After that, let me explain why providers cannot manage this. It is impossible for providers to manage this layer because they do not understand your internal business structure. They cannot legally decide the governance policies. They cannot determine which employees should access which system. They cannot monitor internal intent or misuse.
As for the second question, 10 years ago, we relied on a giant network firewall around our office building to keep the bad guys out. Today, your employees can log into your cloud infrastructure from a public Wi-Fi network at a local coffee shop. Because of this, which of the four pillars has become our absolute strongest line of defense, and why is it one simple tool you must turn on to protect it? In the traditional IT model, security was mainly focused on protecting the network perimeter. Organizations install large firewalls and security systems to protect their office network. As long as users and systems were inside the company network, they were considered safe. The office acted like its security boundaries, and everything outside their boundaries was treated as untrusted. However, in today's cloud-based environment, this approach is no longer sufficient. Employees now work remotely from different locations, devices connect from home, cafes, airport, and mobile network. Infrastructure and applications are accessible over the internet. Because of this, the traditional perimeter has disappeared. Security can no longer depend only on a physical office boundaries, it also protects user, device, and data well. Security can no longer depend only on a physical office boundaries, it must protect user, device, and data wherever they are.
Now, we focus on the one simple tool you must turn on, which is multi-factor authentication or MFA. MFA adds a second factor beyond a password. It includes something you know, like your password, something you have, like your phone, a token, or an authentication app, and something you are, such as biometrics. Without MFA, if an attacker steals a password, they're in. With MFA, a stolen password alone is useless.
Finally, real-world example. If an employee logs into Amazon Web Service or Microsoft Azure from a coffee shop and their password is compromised. With the MFA, attacker gains full access. With MFA, attacker is blocked. Thank you for your attention.